We've got a little surprise, and that is that she is going to join us now on the couch.
Welcome to the Property Couch, where each week you get to listen to two of Australia's leading experts. Bryce Holdaway, co-host of Location Australia on Foxtel's Lifestyle Channel, co-host of Escape from the City on the ABC, and partner of Empower Wealth Advisory. Ben Kingsley, chair of Property Investors Council of Australia and the founder of Empower Wealth Advisory, named the 2018 and 2019 Property Advisory Firm of the Year. Stay tuned as they bring you the insider's guide to property, finance and money management.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Property Couch podcast, and of course, welcome back to you, mate. First of all, how are you, and what a big summer?
Well, huge summer. First of all, I want to make a big shout out to our summer series guests. I mean, amazing.
Phenomenal.
What a joy. What an absolute joy it is to have these people who are, showing their vulnerability in terms of what's been happening and telling their stories so other people can benefit from that. It's just amazing. So let's give it a shout.
Well, they are very, very brave souls, because it's easy to go, I've just listened to them over summer, but the decision, the thought process that they went up to say yes, and then the nerves beforehand, and without fail, all of them were outstanding.
Outstanding.
So we just want to say thanks to Alana, Matt, Katrina, or Kat as we know.
Yes.
Ben, Daksha, Steve, Christian, Jacko, and Kirsty, or she prefers to say KD. Ben.
KD.
But, very, very brave souls to come and share their story, and hopefully created some inspiration for folks over the summer break to go, okay, all right, there was landing the plane, there was broken and fix again, there was a whole cross section that we wanted people to marinate on, so that 2026 becomes a year for them to actually land their own plane. But also, if you've had a story that isn't so great, it's not the end.
And built on the foundations of taking action, getting informed, and there are trade-offs and judgment calls along the way, and a bit of work. There is definitely, through any type of success, if you actually study some of the themes that run through that, there is always sacrifice and dedication to that. So shout out to them, for those who have landed the plane, and for those who are in cruise control at the moment and coming down to land their plane. So that's true. Hey, mate, I wanted to also, talk about what's happened over summer. So we start the summer series, as everyone knows, first Thursday in December, and we finish on the last Thursday in January. And that's, a lot of great times that we've had. But we also have personal lives that are going on during that time. And this summer has been a couple of big decisions that have been made, and obviously a couple of events that have also impacted us. So the first one is obviously you want to take a sabbatical, we'll get to that. But the other, interesting story and sad story was your story over summer. Do you want to share a bit of that story with us? All right, well, I'll give you a minute, but let me just... So Bryce, I called Bryce during the later part of December, check in with him and wish him a Christmas wishes and so forth. And I asked him how his family's going, because basically his mum and dad are coming over to visit down to Torquay and spend summer with the boys. And so we have a bit of a chat at the end of Christmas, during Christmas time there, and you were surprised with, unfortunately, the health of your father at that time, and you were quite concerned about his current situation, and there's a fair bit in that story, right?
Yes, I'm not sure I'm going to get through that bit, so maybe we should come back to that. But all right. Yes, my dad wasn't well.
Yep.
And I lost him a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. So I mean, life, we talk a lot on the pod about taking action and trying to build for the future. Bryce's father was 87. He had, in listening to your amazing talk at the funeral, Bryce, it was a real powerful message about purpose and about priorities and about how people live their lives. We can sit here and talk about money management and property and wealth creation, and that connection to lifestyle by design. And so I thought your message during the funeral was a beautiful one around that he did have a lifestyle by design. He produced and contributed to raising two beautiful kids in Lisa and yourself, but also his wife was the love of his life and the centre of his universe. And he told that story to you around, he knew he was really unwell, and he still got the courage and the conviction to make the trip across from Perth to spend time with you, because he didn't want to let his beautiful bride down after 54 years?
58.
58 years, my apologies. 58 years of marriage. So, mate, we're really saddened by, the experience that you've had to have over the Christmas period. It's been obviously a difficult time for you. And we wanted to also just make sure that we care for you and the love around you and the family is there.
Yeah.
Because, it's still obviously very raw and so forth. Now, we also probably just need to, we'll move the dial in terms of the sabbatical. So that wasn't necessarily the reason for you to wanting to take a break.
No.
In your words, I mean, our community will probably be interested to know what it is, in terms of what you're trying to achieve over this potentially 12-month break. Why don't you share?
Yeah, well, you and I had a chat maybe 6 months ago, and I just said, look, I think the time has come for me to maybe stand down on the property couch for whatever that looks like.
Yep.
And so, we had that conversation, what that would look like, and I think that the contribution that you and I have had to make over 11 years has been like the highlight for me.
Oh, incredible.
Bar none.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the amount of people that we were able to meet and connect with was, I say this all the time, but I've been privileged professionally to have some opportunities that I think I don't take lightly, and you and I have tremendous gratitude around them. But one of them was having a role on television, which is rare, and I really enjoyed that. And then obviously what we did with the podcast, particularly around a time when podcasting wasn't a thing when we started. Well, when I say that, like everyone's doing podcasts now, which is wonderful, and everyone's finding a way to create their voice. But back then we didn't even know what we're doing. Like we said to Stiggy, do you know what to do? And she said, no, but give me a day. And she came back and said, well, I know what to do now. And then we did what we've done for the last 11 years. But I just felt for some time that it was probably time to maybe just take a step back and see what that space looks like. And
we don't want to spoil some of the projects you're working on, but I know you and I have had a chat about a couple of those, and they're exciting projects, so you won't be lost to the property space.
No, well, I think I want to, to that point, I still want to play a role in, creating standards and influencing the market, and I think that there's a lot of buyers agents who have come into the marketplace, and I wonder, I know that not all of them have a pathway. So Veronica and I chatted last year and said, look, I think we can provide some leadership in that space. We'll do that.
That's going to be great.
But I guess for you and me, the property couch will continue and grow, and it'll grow another dimension, which I'm excited to observe. But in terms of my involvement at this stage, stepping back from the podcast, stepping away from the business, just allowing the space, and it's in incredible hands with our team here. But also, for those who get to listen to us on a Thursday and they get to know you from in their earbuds, you've still got this incredible appetite for what it is that you want to do to bring the vision to light and what you've been called to do, and I admire that, and I've watched what you've done over the last few months, particularly with some projects that you've had to manage, and your appetite has only gotten stronger and larger, and I can see that. And so our community and the strength of the business and the people within our business are in very, very good hands in your leadership. But just for the time being, it was a time for me to step away.
Yeah, I think the way in which I look at it is, I'm really clear about, and you and I are both clear about helping people. And yes, I love building things that help people. And so you're right, we've got some exciting changes for Chapter 2. But of course, you won't be lost to what we're doing here, and well, hopefully, who knows, we might see you throughout the course of the year. It's still fluid in terms of what that looks like, but of course, if the conditions are right, we expect you back in around 12 months' time from now, and we look forward to supporting any projects that you do. I mean, just the project alone that you did with the Bali trip and helping people restore their eyesights, raising $75,000. So we'll talk more about that. So we want to go into that. And so today's show is a celebration, right? But we're not going to let you off the hook, because you won't be here for our outlook show, our property market outlooks for 2026. So I wanted to just get a bit of a read from you in terms of how you're seeing the start of the market open. And we talk about the start really being, these first couple of weeks, last week of January, first week Feb. What are you seeing, and what do you generally think about the market? Obviously, with the RBA announcement on Tuesday, what's your read so far?
Look, I think we've always said that generalised commentary doesn't help anyone. So I kind of try and always think of these questions in terms of analogies. And you and I spent a fair bit of last year promoting our book, and the year before we were writing it, and there's an image in there that I think can sum up the optimism that I have around property, and it's an image of a bath that's overflowing.
Yeah.
And so my read on inflation not going where it needs to be, and what that means for the market, and I still think that the bath is overflowing. I think that some of these things will make the bath overflow just a little bit less.
Yep.
But the way that I think about property for anyone who wants to go into 2026, it's like if you've ever been in a line that you're waiting to get on a ride or to get into a show or to meet someone or whatever, and the line is really long, and then at some point in time, 2 or 3 or 4 people in front of you just jump out of the line because they've made a different decision, or the wait's too long or whatever, so you just step forward, but you're still in line, but you're just getting that little bit closer.
Yep.
I kind of think for the majority of the markets that we tend to target, that's what it's going to be like. I think people are going to get out of the line. Well, the interest rate rise will affect some people, but I still see a very if interest rates hadn't have gone up, probably the trajectory would have been going up, and then now that
stronger sentiment. Yep.
And now that we've got that and a bit of uncertainty around that and the pressure that it places on people, I still see it growing. I just probably see it growing at a lower trajectory. So I'm still optimistic for the right properties, and unfortunately, what that means is that, and it's the sad part of life, is that there is an order where some people will be affected more than others, but there will still be people in line, and there'll still be people in line who are providing the demand, just less people in line, so it'll take away a bit of that feverishness of it.
So what are you telling me? They're staying in line because they've got a plan?
Yeah,
because they plan to get on the ride, and they plan to fly the plane, or whatever that may look like.
Well, the people that are still in line are property investors who have buffers, or people who are running businesses who have profits that they can afford to quarantine. So the reality is that for the employed person who's got a mortgage, whose budget is tight, they're going to be the most affected by it. But there are still other people in the marketplace who don't fit that sort of bucket, which, is it fair? Well, if life was fair, there'd be no food chain, right? There's always someone at the top of the food chain. And so I guess for those people, my message would be resilient and look for opportunities to skill up and increase your knowledge, and because income is the biggest driver of wealth creation, bar none. And if you're in a position where you are being jockeyed to being dictated by interest rate rises, you're not in the position of strength that you want to be in. So do whatever it takes for you to skill up, get more knowledge, try new things, do a side hustle so that you can, because the vision still exists, but we wrote about it in our book, that vision isn't going to be for everyone forever.
No.
The divide is coming. So, you and Evan went through the read during the week really, really well on a technical level. I always try and keep it at an analogy level, and that's how I see it. The bath's still overflowing, and the line of people is still there. Just a few people are just going to get out of line.
Yep. Beautiful. Well said. Sage advice, everyone. So we'll be doing a deep dive into the data and looking at the different markets across Australia like we did. We'll review what our predictions were last year and see, what we got right, what we got wrong. So I always like to do that as well. So stay tuned for that in a new upcoming episode soon. But obviously today is all about you, mate. And I know you're not one of these people who necessarily, you're introverted in your ways in some respects. So, but we are going to acknowledge you. In fact, I've had a little runny nose since, I got a bit emotional when we were talking about your dad. So I might need one of those tissues, mate, because I keep touching my nose. But anyway, I wanted to make sure that we celebrate your life. So we've got a little surprise, and that is that the Stig, who has been behind the camera since episode 1, who put the whole show together, and that is Ivis.
So she's going to be behind the camera today as well? So
no, mate. She is going to join us now on the couch. So this is who Ivis looks like. And we're going to go straight into it.
We're taking the helmet off.
So hey, it just means that you have to... You have to take an extended break to actually get Ivis to come on.
Can I just sort of object at this that I've wanted her to come onto the property couch for 583 episodes, and she waits until I leave. Wow.
We got her voice once.
What does that mean?
You guys got my voice a few times. There was a few times when I did. Yeah.
So.
Well, welcome to the couch.
Thank you. I'm nervous. Can you know? Do you notice?
You're now part of the couch crew.
What's interesting about this for you and me, Ben, is if anyone, our team gets to see Ivis off camera, and she has no shortage of confidence and authority and telling everyone what to do. But then when we're running no camera so that's still one of my. If you think about some of the quirks of our podcast over the journey, but remember when we used to invite her to speak and we'd leave that pause and she wouldn't. So
Stig.
So apologies to our listeners. I tried very hard to remind Ben and Ivis that people listen to our podcast because they want to hear about property and content that's relevant to them. But
we're taking liberties today.
So
we're taking liberties for this episode.
If anyone sticks around from this point on, I appreciate that.
Yes, please go. All right.
So you're going to lead us away, Ivis?
I'll try my best.
Okay.
I wasn't planning to lead. I briefed you yesterday so that you could lead it. But
there we go.
This is how much planning we've got today. So obviously, the team and I have prepared a few slides, and I've also asked a few things from the both of you. All right. So the first one is hearing from our community, of course. So we've got we've announced the Bryce's sabbatical for a few weeks now, and then we've encouraged our team, our community to actually write in and share their voices. We have a lot, but if we play all of them, it's going to be a 2-hour show. So let's just
supply them all to Bryce so he can read them in his free time.
So let's start with the very first one, and this is someone we've met a couple of times. So.
Hi Bryce, it's Adam here from Melbourne. I just wanted to say a huge thank you. I've been a TPC listener for over 10 years, and I wanted to thank you for the knowledge and guidance you've shared over the years. It has genuinely shaped how I think and act with money and property. My favourite Bryce moment actually happened back in early 2016 at the Property Expo at the Melbourne Exhibition Centre. My wife and I were walking around and I saw you presenting, and I had that proper celebrity wow moment. I turned to my wife and I said, "Hey, that's Bryce from the Property Couch." When you finished, I thought this was my chance to say hi and tell him about my first investment property, but I was nervous. I came over anyway and started rambling about buying my first place. And I mentioned it was in a suburb called Officer, about 60 minutes out, and at the time it was a greenfield estate. And I still remember what you said. You took a drink of water, looked at me and said, "Firstly, well done, Adam, on taking action," but that simple mix of encouragement and accountability really landed with me. That conversation was a turning point. It led to me reaching out to Empower Wealth, working with Joel Burton to map out the property plan, and later meeting with the wonderful Nicole Slade as our buyer's agent. Fast forward, it's been 10 years and my wife and I are both 39 now, and we're just about to land the plane. Our portfolio is around $5 million and we're at roughly 86K in net passive income. So Bryce, thank you again. Enjoy the sabbatical, enjoy the passion projects, and just know you've had a real impact on our lives and we're cheering you on.
Pretty wonderful, isn't it?
That is incredible. Thank you, Adam. That's amazing.
I remember Adam coming up to you because I think I was standing close by you at that point of time, and we were talking about buying in new estate areas and so forth after Adam left. So the plane took off in taking action, but in the direction that it was going in, needed some adjustment. You gave him some of that honest feedback, and then they worked out maybe they need a little bit of help with the program, and that's where we stepped in and helped out. And look at it 10 years later, mate.
That's incredible, because
someone's life.
I think, Adam, what I love about that story is my first one was a rubbish purchase as well, but I still look back and think it was the best thing I ever did. Because getting that first one is hard. So I like that bit where he talked about the encouragement and the accountability. That's good, because look, if you hadn't have bought that first one, probably wouldn't be having a portfolio around 5 million. So Adam, thank you for that. And look, this is I've got to say to the audience, this is unusual for me, because for 583 episodes, I've been in direct control of what happens on this podcast every episode, and I know what's coming next, but I have zero idea.
It's almost like this is your life, mate.
I know. Which is,
what's going to come next?
As long as what's coming next is about the people that are listening as well.
Yes, it is.
And the next one is someone that appeared on our summer series before.
Hi, Bryce. Hi, Ben. So I just heard that Bryce was leaving for a little while. I just wanted to record this message. This is Dee from the Summer Series 2021. I just wanted to say that thank you so much for your inspirational words, Bryce and Ben. Sometimes when I feel that maybe things haven't gone my way, I sometimes listen to your wise words, and it picks me up and it motivates me to do better and move further in my property journey. And I wish you all the luck in the world, and hopefully you'll be back soon. Thank you.
She's an inspiration, Dee. She's a wonderful, wonderul human, and incredibly powerful woman. So, thank you, Dee.
I agree with her about listening to your wise words. I mean, we've been working together for, 11, 12, maybe 12, 13, 14?
2012, Ivis. So we're entering our 14th.
Yeah, there you go. We joined with similar time. And exactly like what Dee mentioned, like whenever we're down, I don't know why I'm teary-eyed. It's probably because it's my first time here on the podcast.
Yes.
Talking to you, obviously, you were. We started as you as my manager and my boss. But you're always.
And now you're my boss.
There's no ranking here.
We have a very flat structure.
But you're always motivational. So I think both
wonderful.
in and out.
Thank you, Ivis. It's been a joy and a privilege in my life.
And to your point you made there before, Bryce, about Dee, she's a Wonder Woman. But I think it is, like we all, sometimes they're the virtual mentors, and sometimes you obviously have direct mentors that you're dealing with every day. And so that's one of the messages that I know that when I talk to people about how you inspire them is exactly that story. Like, they may not have met you, but, the wise words that you've shared, the insights that you've shared has allowed them to take something away from that just sparks some form of comfort, or some form of it'll be all right, because we're well prepared, or whatever that may look like. So I think Dee summed that up lovely.
Yeah, thank you, Dee. I think your story was remarkable. So to hear that from her is a real joy. Thank you.
Beautiful.
We still got a few more to go. So this is the next one from Mark.
G'day, Bryce. This is Mark here. I didn't want to miss this opportunity to leave you a message to congratulate you on an amazing innings of 10 plus years and still not out on the property couch. In a world full of negativity, you're a shining light of positivity and realism that shaped my thinking towards financial well-being and the importance of planning not just for security, but also for contribution along the way. So thank you. You've helped me more than you realise, and along with Ben, have been like a virtual mentor of reason in my ear for the last decade, reinforcing those timeless truths such as playing the long game, living within your means, and delaying gratification. It's got to a point where even my wife will question me at times and ask, well, what would Bryce say? Thank you again, Bryce, for all that you do, and I selfishly hope you return for that second innings and rip into the show for another decade. Thanks, mate.
Let's rip into the show.
Cool. Thank you, Mark. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a lovely. I think it summarises, some of the core points around, the messaging, timeless truths, playing the long game, living within your means, and that delayed gratification piece. And if that message is landing with Mark as well as the rest of our community, the contribution is phenomenal, mate. So well done.
Thank you.
All right, the next one here from Ren.
Thanks to Bryce for the mindset minutes, fruity banter, the hacks, the advice that save us from at least a few bad decisions. It's been a blast having him on the pod. Wishing him a massive success in his sabbatical work. Now go put those hacks to use. Haha. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Ren. That's amazing.
Very nice. Very nice.
We should have.
See, some people do like the footy banter.
Yeah. Sometimes it goes too long, but I suppose yes.
What are you talking about?
I'm surprised from Ren.
Have we got permission now? It's February. Can we talk about it?
We should have counted how many life hacks there were to use, so we'll have that were announced. So Bryce could actually show us proof, send us proof that he has put us.
Yeah.
Most of the hacks I at least had a swing at to try and do. So quite often finding one that was meaningful was the biggest part of the prep for the week, because the way you both crucified me for that little one in the keyboard, and I've never had that let down.
Well, that might
still my
come
favorite.
up later on.
Yeah, one of my favorite.
Okay, the one that never.
This last one is from Michael.
Hi Bryce, Michael here. I've been listening to the Property Couch since nearly the beginning and many episodes several times over. Your voice has been a constant source of clarity, education and grounded wisdom in a space that can so easily overwhelm and confuse people. When I look back at the nearly 600 episodes you and the team have produced, I'm genuinely struck by the sheer volume of time, energy and care you have poured into educating and helping others make better decisions. It's literally thousands of hours of teaching, simplifying, storytelling and guiding people away from financial disasters they might never have seen coming. That kind of contribution changes lives massively, and it certainly brought into focus for me some of the many mistakes that I made along the journey. I would be in a very different position now 30 years ago. Your ability to break down complex ideas, challenge unhelpful narratives, and keep the conversation both practical and human has been invaluable. I used to mentor people myself to help them get into property, but nowadays I just tell them to listen to the Property Couch. From the beginning, as your advice aligns so closely with what I've spent decades trying to teach others. Yeah, you put me out of work. Personally, I've learned a lot more from your experience and generosity than I can put into words, and I'm incredibly grateful for your selfless contributions. I hope your sabbatical gives you the space, rest, and renewal you require to achieve your project goals. Please know that your work has made a real difference to so many of us, and your legacy in this space is something to be proud of. Thank you again for everything that you have given us. Oh, and a small request before I go. I just want 1 cent for every time you have mentioned the name Ben.
So Ben, what did you think about that? I listened to these and they're very warm and generous, but they're referring to me, but they're referring to Ben and I. Like all of that stuff is what we've done collectively.
Oh, no, I disagree. I disagree. Like, well, can I challenge that? Because you do break down complex ideas into really simple ways in which. So there's no doubt that what you have brought to the community has been your narrative, your storytelling, the way in which you, again, keep things in practical terms, and I talk in circles. So the reality is that, no, that's directed absolutely at you. So you should take all credit for that in terms of that practical and human approach to it, as opposed to, I spend a lot of time in the numbers and sometimes, get too deep in the numbers compared to that practical human side of it. So I think what Michael said there is pertinent to you, and you should absolutely own that and take credit for it.
Thank you, Michael. Very, very generous. Thank you for taking that time to mention that. Thank you.
I think the team and I have to agree with that, because you know how we produce short clips of videos for socials and things like that. You'll probably notice there's more of Bryce's than that.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, I have an advantage, right? Because I've been in the television world, and I know it's all about sound bites and audio bites. So, like you weren't able to have that.
I can be interviewed on a news show and not make the cut because my response is too long.
I just know what they're after. I've been behind the scenes. I know what the producers are looking for.
Very good.
All right, so we've obviously had a few. We've heard a few from Speak the Pipes there. There's still a few on socials. I'm not a great reader. I don't even like the sound of my own voice. So we'll have Opti to read this out for us. We've chosen the most, one of the longer ones.
Who's Opti Ivers?
Opti?
Yeah.
Ben's been waiting for 10 years to ask you that question, Ivers.
So it's a smart AI.
It is a smart AI, but it lives in more at the moment.
Yeah, bringing its personality out into the real world.
I'm trying to bring
the community needs to understand who Opti is. So,
yes.
And what's Opti short for?
Optimize. Oh my God, look at this quiz.
Yeah, optimization. So you'll be hearing a little bit more from Opti throughout the course of
we've
chapter
been
2.
posting, Ultima and I have been posting some Opti videos on socials. One thing you need to know about Opti is an Aussie, and it has a terrible sense of music. So it's a terrible musical sense. If you're listening to this on the podcast, make sure to search for more. Just look at the karaoke videos from Opti and have a good laugh there.
There we go.
But luckily, Opti may not be good at singing. She's very good.
And you know why we did this, Bryce?
What was that?
Because you couldn't have me do the readovers, because that'd be too bad.
I know. Yeah, I always did take the the voiceover.
So in the next chapter we might hear Opti doing a fair bit more of the voiceover work.
Exactly. All right, the first one here from Ross.
I've been listening since day one, and I am so grateful for this gift. Grace was my buyer's agent for my first investment property, and of course, it's going gangbusters. Best of all, I was chatting to one of them, Pal Welty, who shared how I'm shocked you all were in the office. He told me that Ben is the brains and head of the company, Bryce is the heart and soul, and has been the reason for such a great culture there and among the primarily listeners.
Very nice.
Yeah. I do have another one, if you like. Actually, I might read another one. This one is from Lizzie B19. There isn't a single podcast that I haven't learned a new thing from. Well done, boys. Love your banter. Also, you have to continue the banter with someone else. But like all good things, a break is also good. So enjoy, Bryce. Ben, look forward to seeing who you will banter with. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
All right, now let's move on to the exciting part of the show. Let's take a trip down memory lane.
This is definitely one of those sort of shows, right? Isn't it? That sort of trip down memory lane, or this is your life moment. Here we go.
Wow.
Ta-da! I have no idea. The bottom left. What were you guys doing?
Are we in a pub there?
It looks like
a bar. Might be in a hotel lobby bar.
Yeah.
Property Expo.
Was it a Property Expo?
Yeah.
It is.
The Sydney one, Melbourne?
And that's us frantically trying to get the slides prepped because we're probably about to go on stage in 2 minutes.
Well, no, I wouldn't be going on stage in a Geelong jersey or a...
What's wrong with that?
Well, I would normally have a business shirt on or something like that. So I reckon it's the night before.
The night
probably cramming to talk about what we're going to... But you're right. We actually didn't have salt and pepper hair back then, mate.
No,
when we first started.
Wow.
Look at Bryce on the stage on the right over there, just finishing. I think that's still season 1 or 2 of location.
Because what they used to do is they used to get me to talk about certain things on stage, and then I asked them, I want to talk about investment property, and I just went straight into character, which was great. And then they pulled me afterwards. They go, that was amazing, but maybe because the Lifestyle Channel is they want the bite that they wanted the sound bites, and I just wanted to give as much as I could to that. I'm thinking there's people, they need to know this stuff. But and then teach. And then when we got our first book in our hands for the first time in that other photo there, that was that was incredible.
It was
in the previous office. And the next one is, this is our first Instagram post ever. Very little likes, very little comments. I can't see the date on this one, but I reckon somewhere in 2015.
2015.
That's our old logo too, by the way, the font. Look at the font. We haven't changed our icon. I don't think we'll ever change our icon, but the font, yes, maybe.
Yeah, changed the font.
And then, of course, you can't go past without this one.
Yes.
Recording our first episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a Property Couch podcast. Yes. Do you want to tell the story about how close it was to the toilet or to the kitchen?
So this is in our Howard Street offices. So just to paint a picture, I think it was about 180 square metres downstairs and upstairs. So we had a little area, we had a reception area and then 2 consult rooms downstairs. And then we had an area at the back where we had a couple of mortgage brokers, a couple of financial planners, but very tight. And it used to get hot down there, so we had a couple of double doors that would open up out to the lane when it used to get too hot there. And then upstairs, there's a landing which you see basically behind the desk there. So that's where the great late Michael Pope used to sit. And that unfortunately was on the other side of that wall is the toilets. So, and let's just say the acoustics were quite soft there, so you could hear a few things, and the fan didn't quite go as effective for some as others. So, and then that was just the area, that was the consult room upstairs where Michael and I would do the very first property planning consults with our clients, and we hijacked the room to do our first recording of the podcast on a phone. On a Samsung phone, so
yes. Now, do you know why the Samsung phone is not there on the table? Because it also serves as the camera.
It was also the camera that took the photo.
I'm not complaining.
That's actually solved a thing, because I've seen that photo so many times that I had wondered where the. It's okay, that's solved that. But
and the office next door is where we did some of our original. Content filming?
Or 2 doors up, isn't it?
2 doors, yeah.
Was
2 doors up.
Yeah. 2 doors up?
It was
Popey was in the middle.
There we go. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. And then 2 doors up. But we also had another area, which was the boardroom, which we turned into workstations.
Yes.
And everyone had to take the phone off the hook because it was obviously too loud. So when we were recording, if the phone rang upstairs...
Can you imagine all the finfluencers now if they had to endure what we were doing, getting everyone to stop? We had the green screen from the internet that we got off eBay.
That's right.
There was all the money magazines there supporting the stands for us. It was... we were in the Wild West back then.
That was great.
Chroma key was
the chroma key, yes.
The chroma key, and it wasn't that great. The technology wasn't that great.
The technology was terrible,
So the bleeding would all happen.
Yep.
And
you have blue or green face most of the time. But there you go.
Yeah, lots of fun.
The next one was when our podcast hit 50,000 downloads. Well, 17.8 million later now. But we had cupcakes that's not gluten intolerant, gluten free, because I reckon back then you haven't gone into the gluten intolerant phase yet.
I was, for as long as you've known me, I've been gluten intolerant.
Definitely not.
What that meant is probably Ben picked up the cupcakes and he forgot the detail that there needed to be a gluten free.
Just throw me under the bus. Sure.
Totally Ben.
Well, it was either you or Stiggy.
I'm one of those thoughtful people who think to get cupcakes, not.
No. So, 50,000 downloads. I mean, for folks, I remember when we celebrated hard 11,000. Yes. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Peter Kaluzos was part of that.
Yeah.
And 11th, and I'm like, our minds were blown at 11,000. So to get to 50,000, that felt like holy smokes. Because again, we didn't know. It was a bit of a Wild West back then.
No,
that's right.
Yeah, we weren't even expecting anyone to listen to the first episode. The first episode is still number 1 episode, by the way.
Yeah.
Still the most downloaded episode.
Yeah,
I reckon,
we fixed bad advice.
Yes, it's the shortest one.
Yeah.
the easiest to produce. There's no video, no audio, not much audio there. So
just ranting.
If our listeners could pick up between the lines there, Ives has been trying to get us to go back to the shorter version for a long time.
Try and fail. And then this one is when we moved to the new studio. So we had the old studio. Have you guys mentioned how this new
No, we're filming in the brand new studio.
We're waiting for this slide.
Yeah, so this is Queensbury Street. So we built a dedicated room.
Yeah.
And there was a skate ramp. So in this particular room, we actually, because chroma key was still important back then, if you wanted to shoot different sorts of things, the technology wasn't so great. So we were inspired by those studios where the ramp, so it was like one big white wall, and so you could put anything in there and you didn't have any edges or shadowing. And so I remember having to explain to the builder, I need a continuous landing on the wall, and they were like, "What? Like a skate ramp?" Yeah, like a skate ramp.
Build us a skate ramp.
So it's built us a skate ramp, and then obviously we painted it with the chroma key paint, and that was our new studio.
And we used it for like 3 times the entire time.
Yeah.
We didn't need it in the end.
No, we didn't. No, so it was an expensive skate ramp, only to be pulled out.
Yes, only to be pulled out. Now, good to know that this new studio does not have any skate ramps or chroma key walls.
No.
The new studio will not be in the slides because it's our first time filming in it.
This is our third studio, right?
Yes.
So
yes, this is our third studio. Yeah, good work.
Studio there. All right. Now I don't have my slides. Ta-da!
This was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was cool.
Where were we heading? We were off to the US, and we saw on. Is that Qantas or Jester? I think it's Qantas.
That one's a Qantas one. Yeah, that one's on the A380 heading over to the US. The backstory there was I think I was on a Virgin flight, and I was looking through their in-flight at the time, and they had some podcasts on there, and I thought, and I wonder if there's podcasts on Qantas Network, and so I didn't know, so I did some research. I grabbed the Qantas magazine and looked for the advertising people. I rang them up and said, "Do you need some podcasts to go on your in-flight?" And they said, "Oh, funny you should mention that. It has come up in conversation." And I said, "Well, let us know." About 4 months later, he rings me back and says, we are interested, and then we handed it over to you, Ives, and we got the podcast.
And we went international.
That was our international move.
I think it was literally the first time we saw it was the 3 of us on the plane, and then we saw it in the plane. So it was very cool.
Yeah, it was nice. And so on the international flights on Jetstar, you could get it because they had the in-flight, and then obviously on all the Qantas international and domestic, you could get it. And then they introduced Wi-Fi, and then COVID happened, and then gone. Now you don't need it. You can still watch the podcast or listen to the podcast through the in-flight Wi-Fi, thanks to Starlink. Yeah.
The next one, of course, can't go past without REA. Featuring on REA, there was a few seasons there. This has to be one of my favorite because how often would we see you in construction hats and a red blown up
couch
and the beach.
That red blown up couch was fun because remember they took it down. We were at Glenferrie Oval. We shot one down there, and we did that down at Port Melbourne, or was that Middle Park? But the relationship we've had with REA has been generous and fun. And
it has been fun.
Something that we've really appreciated over the journey, and that back then that was some really cool stuff we were doing.
Now it looks great, looks nice and warm.
We were freezing.
It was
middle of winter?
Yeah, it was middle of winter. It was basically one of those, 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah.
I've got that flimsy little brown top on, and the wind chill was just ripping through.
It was biting.
It was, and then we had rain. Oh, it was just So that was probably the 3 minutes of sun that came out on that day. But we did have some fun with realestate.com.au.
Now the next one is a few videos produced by our lovely Pat.
Have you looked after me?
Oh, here we go.
So Marty McFly takes us into gets the flux capacitor Ben into the thank God for that. That overtone.
Yeah.
So
Cheeky.
Remember when we planned for this episode?
Oh, that's flicking a wound for me.
I know. So remember we were planning for it, and then I was asking you guys. So what are the bits that you guys really want from the last 500?
I like the way you threw them in.
Yeah, she did do an then. Yeah. She's a character.
I have lots of arms.
It's hard. It's hard, isn't it? Even when you try to stop, it's hard.
Wait, I don't understand how he doesn't do it.
I do it. I'm sure I do it.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. Pat got you covered. There's another one coming up for you.
Oh, here we go. What do I do? This is it.
Yes.
This is what I thought. That I wasn't.
Well, it's
allowed to look at,
celebrating Bryce, but then
okay.
I don't want to make Bryce. It's the only one that looks bad. Right? We love both of you.
All in, one in.
Yes. Are you ready?
Carmen's in stitches while the scene's there, so she knows what's coming, right? So
to be honest, I wasn't expecting this one, so it was kudos to Pat that actually found this keyword.
Thanks, Pat. When's your job review coming up?
Well, you've announced that publicly. Yeah. He's got evidence in public.
So if you have to guess one word, so Bryce knew the ums and ahs. Even I know the ums and ahs, right? But what do you think would be Ben's favorite
unpack
keyword?
No. What was?
Can you imagine if we make this a drinking game?
I reckon if you had to give me something to think about this morning, I would have got it, because there's a phrase that he does, but I can't. There's a certain phrase that he does that I can't.
There's one that I can guarantee I've always used.
What's that?
Knowledge is empowering.
Yeah.
But actually, maybe I've worked it out.
Okay, let's see
All
what
right,
it is.
ready?
Okay. In terms of getting to a calm state. In terms of
exactly.
In terms of our first step. In terms of governments promising everything. Thank you for that, and always remember, knowledge is empowering, but only if you act on it. Very nice.
There we go.
I don't know how we're going to cut that section, guys, but yes, there you go.
Well, thank you, Pat. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
well,
now
in
you're
terms
under
of what you do,
performance
mate.
And the stats. In terms of stats, there you go.
21,000.
It has been said 21 across 580 episodes. Ben said around 19,000, and Bryce only said around 2,000.
In terms of, do I say that?
Is this anything?
So you account for 89.2 of all in terms of mention.
9 times or more often than me, 33.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
in terms of every 1.6 minutes?
In a 60 minutes episode, a supercut episode of Eric in terms of would take around 3 hours, 24 minutes and 36 seconds long. So if you make a drinking game out of it, the average listener would be in hospital well before the outro.
Oh yeah, they'd have a problem. They would have a problem.
At least I was aware of mine.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to be conscious of it.
In terms of...
So for context,
sometimes what it is it's your think.
Absolutely.
It's how you're quickly pivoting or changing.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you for that. For that moment. That's wonderful.
Thank you. So now for your moment. So I asked both of you for your lovely memorable moments. Okay. You guys took like at least 6 weeks to come back to me, just in case the listeners want to know how it feels to work with the both of you. Literally came back to us this week.
Yeah. Mine was last night, wasn't it?
Yes, but luckily we've got a great team here.
Yeah, we've got a wonderful team.
We get things done. So the first one is from Ben.
Oh yes.
The episode with Jan.
Yeah, look, we were nervous to meet Jan. And it was, we were like two schoolboys meeting our idol at the time.
Yeah. Still is my idol.
Yes. Well, she changed your life in a sense.
Yeah.
She changed that was a sliding door moment for you.
It was.
In terms of seeing that. So yes, it was a treat to meet one of the GOATs.
Yeah.
The greatest of all times. There's a couple of others that we've also had the privilege of interviewing, but it was, for me, that was seeing that, you were light on your feet that day. You were moving around really well.
For those of you who don't know the story, she was on the midday show with Ray Martin at lunchtime. I'd come home from uni. I watched her up on screen, and she was talking about how, because she's a pioneer, like she's the real pioneer in this country. Everyone who's listening to this, or any other property investment person who earns a living professionally helping people, it's almost directly relatable back to...
There's three of them, Jan, Jock Bing, and the guy from Heron Todd, not Heron Todd White, the valuer from Charter Keck Kramer.
Yeah, Scott Keck. Yeah, but Jan was... She
wrote
published,
the book. Yeah, she was the mainstream operator.
I think it all leads back to her. So for me to have, as just this innocent sort of uni student thinking, wow, wouldn't it be amazing? And then to meet her, gosh, that was the biggest completion story there was.
I still remember when we finally locked her in. I think I remember that moment where both of you were like, cannot believe that she's coming. And
she's
then
coming to Melbourne.
We were like waiting for her 45 minutes before her episode really started, and just hovering around the reception area, like, see, she here anytime now, anytime. And she's the most humble, one of the most humble. I mean, all our guests are really humbling, but was not expecting like her personality to for that episode. So it was so nice, so
gracious,
lovely to talk to.
Beautiful.
So generous.
Her and Ian.
Yeah.
They've definitely left a huge DNA on the industry, even with their Summersoft software and everything. I mean, just incredible contribution, and they've changed a lot of people's lives, and they should be very proud of what they've done.
Next one.
Chris Voss. This was probably as nervous as I've ever been on the podcast, as nervous as I was with Jan, Chris, because he'd spoken at ARIC, the Australian Real Estate Conference, and I naively just thought, I'd reach out to him to come onto ours, and he'll say yes. Well, I got schooled in distribution, size of audience, how popular he was. So I said, can you come on? And they said no, and then I followed up the next year, and they said no, and then I followed them up the next year, and they said, look, Bryce, because I kept on resending the email trail that I'd sent previously so they could see that I had this trail. And then eventually someone felt sorry for me, and they said, look, I'd really love to say yes, but your audience isn't big enough. Because he's going on American audiences where their audiences are
global audiences.
And then I thought to myself, in the end, I thought, I'm not sure I'm prepared to give up. So I emailed the next year, and then I emailed the next year, and then finally I said to Ivis, because for the journey of our podcast, as you both know, we've been really lucky to be supported by our audience, that we would organically end up in the top 10 in the business category, which is really tough each week for each episode. Such was the following in our podcast. That was before Diary of a CEO took the 7 of the top 10 slots. But back then we'd be in. So, and we would have screenshots of those, and I just said to Ivis, can you help me out, please? Can you just put, I'm sick of emailing, because you fill in the forms, this is our audience, this is how, I said, can you just cut a collage of screenshots of our episode being in the top 10 each week? Because I figured, in order to get his attention,
yes, you're going to have to change your approach.
He's going to want to know that the hour that he spends with us, is helping his distribution reach. And another Stiggy win there was what, and I think they just felt sorry for me. But 6 years in a row, 6 years in a row. I haven't done that with any other guest other than Chris Voss. So that was, and then Ben says to me the night before, because there was a lot going on, Ben just goes, well, I'll just do what I always do, Bryce. You would have prepped. I'll just come and I'll just fill in all the gaps. And so I felt all this pressure to make sure that I'd watched all his videos, I'd listened to his stuff, I reread his books, and if long story short, folks, I did the intro. I sounded like a bumbling mess. And you guys said to me, let's go and redo the intro later so that no one actually hears that bumbling mess intro. So
fixed in post.
Fixed in post, exactly.
Episode 457, so go check that out.
Yes,
it is definitely one episode. It's a longer one, just in case, but it's definitely worth every minute there. All right,
well,
next.
When you get great guests on, you have long-form conversations with them, because you don't get their time very often.
No.
The next one, again, another stellar one.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, again, I was 16 when I read Noel's first book. That was the pivotal moment. That was my moment of like, okay, well, I do have an interest in business and finance and money management and wealth creation. Noel was able to organise my thoughts in a way that allowed us to do that. And so through Margaret Lomas, a big shout out to Margaret, she's obviously one of the pioneers of the industry as well. I got to meet Noel at a board meeting with Pippa when I was the chair of Pippa, and then build that relationship up. But it was also through Julia Hartman, who was kind enough, and Julia's written a couple of books. For those people who don't know who Julia is our chief tax expert for our business. So all of anything that is known and needs to be known about property tax, Julia knows it all, and all the private rulings and everything that's out there. So they've written a couple of books together. So Julia was able to connect us with Noel. We made that connection, and it was obviously a highlight to meet him.
It's one of the joys of this podcast, Ben. We were able to masquerade meeting our heroes by enticing them to allow us to share their content to our community. And so meeting Noel was a treat, and he was really contrarian for us on property, and but that was the best part. And to be honest, he still made a lot of his fortune through his principal place of residence, which was an amazing property. But he had a very strong bias, and we welcomed that. And to your point, the influence that his books had on shaping us as early, when we're trying to find our way and working out what our own thesis is on where we should invest and where we should put our money, he was pivotal in that. So to be able to meet him was ridiculously good.
A fun fact as well, you say he's a bit, is usually against property and things like that. One of the shorter clips that we produce of Noel actually was one of our highest view on YouTube. So if you're listening to this, go check out our YouTube, because it's weird, right? You go to the Property Couch YouTube channel and you think to learn everything about property, and one of the most viewed one is not so much of a fan of a property, but still really good content, and it gives a really good context on both sides of the argument as well.
Well, I mean, the very first thing he said in that board meeting, when we all sat around, he goes, "So you guys do property?" And we go, "Yeah." He goes, "Property's dumb. You don't make money in property." And then he unpacked his story on our pod. And all of the stuff we've always said, medium, high density, off the plan, that's what he was, he was basically in the property marketing space where he hadn't made his money. He made some in commercial, but to your point, the prize, location, status level property, his principal is he's knocked it out of the park. And so all of the fundamentals that we would teach him on, in terms of that conversation, he took away and thought, actually, there's a lot of merit in what we're saying around scarcity and supply demand. And so, I think it was a meeting of the minds that allowed him to sort of think about that and go, you know what, there is some opportunity there. And I think throughout the course of that episode, he actually warms to, actually, there is, there's something in what you're saying there. So that was nice.
Well, I think a lot of people just tar us with all this, there's a off the plan and brand new expo coming up in a location close to me as we speak.
Oh, is there, right?
And can you imagine that hall being full of what we would say beware? It's easy for these people who've been around for a long time who don't know us well, just to go, well, you guys are in that bucket. And slowly, as you realise we weren't in that bucket, that's when the conversation changed.
Good point.
Of course, the next one can't go past without Paul. Episode 200, I think you remember. We met him at our back then our Sydney office, and I think did he cut his pinky cut off?
No, you can see his finger there, his forefinger there. He's he lost that in a sailing accident. Got caught around a rope and got it ripped off. But how cool was he? I mean, he is Mr. Cool.
The only hot tips I can give you in the short term are spend less than you earn. That is the only hot tip I can give you.
It's a good one.
Because if you spend less than you earn, now I don't give a tuppenny toss, because the next question is, do I buy shares of property? I don't care. And the reason I don't care is there is no evidence that either asset is particularly better than the other. So if you come to me with a bunch of properties, I would encourage you to buy a few shares. If you come to me with a bunch of shares, I would encourage you to buy a property. But the idea is that when people say, give me this hot tip, and I say, look guys, let's be serious. It's about, do you have surplus income? Your point. If we have surplus income, then they get very excited about shares of property. They get quite upset when I say, I don't care. Just do something.
that video is, I think it's gotten more than 100,000+ views on socials for that, just that short little clip there.
That grab, I wrote it in the book. It's that important.
It is.
Like, to his point, you shouldn't care as long as you're actually on an investing journey.
Yeah.
And we obviously have a view around leverage that gives us puts our foot more in the property camp. But you'll never hear Ben and I saying you shouldn't be buying shares. You'll never hear Ben and I saying that property is the only thing you should ever buy.
Yep.
We just say it's a good, easy way to start at the very least. And for a lot of conservative investors, it's a good place to stay. But to his point, it's amazing. But, just to build context around that, Ben, I'm 4 years younger than you, but when I was growing up in my teenage years, the Money Show on Channel 9 would be
huge.
Because I grew up in a house where the telly was always on.
Yeah.
And so that would be rolling in the background, and his show, and so again, in the same lane as Jan Summers, in the same lane as Noel Whittaker, Paul Clitheroe for us, and for some of our younger listeners, Ben, if we have any younger listeners, they wouldn't even know who the hell he is.
No, that clip would who's that guy?
Yeah.
He was a staple.
Yeah.
Obviously, Effie Zahos is
Yes.
part of that story, and it was through Effie that we were able to make that connection.
But back then,
huge.
you had I grew up in Perth when that was on, so we only had Channel 2, Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 10, and that only came later. So that, that's your options to watch stuff. You didn't have YouTube. You didn't have
internet.
You couldn't watch anything on your phone.
No.
So
Dial-up internet.
He was peak powers, peak popularity at that time. So yeah.
And his books are great.
Yeah.
Obviously read all of those books, but he was just so practical, so matter of fact, and he just didn't tolerate the fluff.
No.
Just bang. This is the story, and so one of my favourite episodes.
Yes, absolutely. Now, this is question without notice. What would be your biggest regret for the entire 583 episodes? I'm going to start with mine. I know it's question without notice.
Okay. Yeah.
But mine is, as the producer of this show, is not recording or video recording since day one, since episode 1, because we've had amazing guests. And there's so much gold between the both of you that it's a shame that the viewers can't see what I see, like your reaction, your chemistry with each other, with the guests. I mean, there's so much clips that I could have actually produced in those episodes, but because we didn't decide back then, again, YouTube wasn't. And it's a one-man show or one-woman show back then, so it was literally impossible. But if we had video recorded from episode 1, I reckon.
Oh yeah, I mean, would we have a larger community? Yeah, I don't disagree. Gee, I'm struggling. I'm not one of these people who have regrets.
Yeah.
Because I'm still living and I still want to. I mean, yes, there's probably things that I do regret, like we're all humans, we make mistakes, so I have regrets in making mistakes.
Yeah.
But nothing's really jumping out at me in terms of, because, there's people that I would love to have on the show that have said now, but to your point, but I look at our show and obviously in chapter 2, we'll talk more about that later, but we've had the titans of the industry, titans around property, titans around money management, titans around mindset. I don't think there's been any other property podcast that could look at their back catalogue and basically see, you come to the Property Couch because obviously we've got a lot to teach, but also because we get the best talent, the titans of industry on the show. And as well as our competitors, who we also say they've actually got a lot to teach as well, so bring them on. So I think from that point of view, that was, again, part of, in curating the show, Bryce, and bringing all that on. I want to give you all that credit because that's been part of it. And obviously we've been able to get Alan Oster, chief economist for NAB, and we've been able to get Shane Old. We get the best economists, we get the biggest and smartest people, Peter Kalisos, property professor, all of those guys, Victor, Paul Gloss, or all of the people who really move the dial on industry, and we've been able to do that, and that's not going to stop because at the end of the day, that's what our community wants. That's what our community will deliver. But so I'll have to come back to you. Can I? Have you got a?
I don't have any regrets. Maybe in hindsight, going harder on helping people early to not, I feel like we got the right lane, but probably going harder on telling a few more war stories about people who bought. I'm really drawing at straws here because I feel like I've had a wonderful experience. But if there was someone who got stung and we had a chance to go harder on the message so they didn't get stung, probably there'd only be regrets for outcomes for people that are listening. But I think now in the world of podcasting, there are finfluencers and podcasters and content creators and all that are showing that me and Ben are 50, right? So they're doing it in a new way, and then they have TikTok, and so all those sorts of things. So, but I feel very strongly that we'll be on the right side of history based on the message that we've had for a long period of time.
Yeah, we're value investing. We're playing the long game. We're not fluffy and fancy, but that's basically,
All right, moving on. Thank you for that. The next slide. Now we're going to have to go a little bit quicker now, guys, because I think we're in a bit over time. All right, now this is from you, Ben. When Bryce shared all the chapters.
I mean, it's such a powerful book, right? To be written really at the turn of the 20th century, in the early 1900s.
Now, context for audio listeners: how to win friends how to win friends and influence people. By
Dale Carnegie. So mate, I enjoyed those sets of shows where you're going through that, because it's just a lot of practical sense. As part of that, so that'll sit in the memory.
Sometimes I thought to myself, like, the prep for Mindset Minute and Life Hacks sometimes took me just as much time as prepping for the show, because I had to read every one of those chapters and then summarise it and then digest it, and then
I'm pretty sure his book sales goes.
That was pre-LLMs.
That's true. There was no AI back then.
No AI, no. Well, no. And we can't go through memory lane without this one, of course.
Enjoy the passive income from property investment. Arrivederci. 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 And arrivederci. Sayonara. Arrivederci. Sayonara. Oh, which one am I this week? Oh, sayonara. I will sayonara.
Sayonara?
Sayonara. Sayonara. Antio. Adios. Amigo. Auf Wiedersehen. Why don't you give us one, Bryce?
I am, mate. I am.
No, Zizang?
Yeah, but I always loved, and I've said it a few times, and you probably picked that up when you were going through it, Pat, that all Ben's sign-offs always had that little French flavour to it, even though
I'm doing an international language.
So
I got into trouble once when I did a Chinese tone.
We got into trouble a few times early on. So when we
just one.
Yeah.
And then the next one is from Ben.
So there's my life hack, Ben.
So your entree is that the grass? No.
Do you know, we laugh, right? But do you know, Dean comes up to me in the office the other day and he goes, Bryce, and he starts talking about bacon, and then he looked at me strangely and goes, actually, you don't eat bacon. And I said, what? Mate, I love bacon. I eat that much bacon. And he goes, I just thought you ate veggies. I thought that Kingsley. Everyone thinks that I just eat grass. Mate, I eat more protein than probably the average person eats.
So for me, if I'm if I'm cooking a bit of steak on the barbecue, so I get this amazing feeling. Do you do that when you mow on the lawn?
Mate,
do you get that feeling when you mow the lawn? Do you like that grass, that fresh grass smell?
Did you see that, listeners? Unprovoked. I gave you that line too.
You did. Yeah, now we give you our trade secrets. Oh, you did.
Was it time there?
How was early on? We were having a bit of a go with your diet. It was a bit of fun.
Well, the thing is that my son was having health challenges, and my wife worked out that if we changed it to a very, very specialised paleo diet, that and to her credit, and to thankfully for my son, most people would not know the challenges that he experienced young in life now looking at him. But back then I was, if you even watch if you even see some of the photos, I was leaning up very, very quickly, and I looked gaunt and everything, because we said, well, if he's got to do it, we're all going to do it. And we all went in very hard for that year.
Can I tell you a quick story on that? Because one time we were in the kitchen, in the office, and you're probably having your, 800th bowl of soup that you're walking into. and you're like, I'm saying, are you, like, is it working? And you're like, oh, I hope so. Oh
my gosh.
It was just, I got you at a vulnerable moment. But gut health and all that's a big.
Well, for those who know, I was in ketosis, right? So oof, it was. No, thank you for bringing that up.
That was a bit of fun. Yeah. It's a memorable moment. It was a memorable moment.
I don't even remember that, so it was completely. And of course.
Good. So the life hack for today, I'm going to keep it really simple. Mate, do you know how you write? You've even got one here. Do you know how you got those little post-it notes?
Yeah, I got a post-it note. Yeah. Well, you told me 30 seconds ago that I needed to have mine.
Well, put it on Evernote, but seeing as you're a bit old school. So when you finish with that post-it note, don't throw it in the bin, mate. What you do is you grab it and you just run it across the top of your keyboard so you can collect all the dust and the crumbs that go in between the keyboard, mate. Clean it out before you put it in the bin.
Are you serious?
Mate, what's that? Hey?
I've never seen either set absolute stitches before, but you've got to be joking, that's it.
Not one of my best, but mate, at least it's there. Some people will get good use out of that.
I love it. So
I'm going to pace myself. This is a marathon.
Oh my God! Still use it to this day. Still use it to this day.
It's the best. But you have no idea how much Shayna and Cam have to go through to look for the exact episode and to get that audio clip. Because we know it's your best, but we don't remember exactly which episode is it. Episode 105.
105. Yeah.
Well done, crew. So that was actually life hack. That was pivotal because you roasted me so much on that one. I thought I'd better not come up with any life hacks going forward that a little lightweight.
Oh, that wasn't lightweight, mate. Because I eat my lunch in front of my screen, watching the latest or reading the latest.
Do we have any listeners still left at this point?
Probably. But it's been fun.
They're trying to work out where the investing advice is.
We're embellishing ourselves in terms of once every 590 or 68 or whatever it is we're up to. Okay, here we go.
Next one, our first 2020 Summer Series episode here, number 1. Now, that's not when we released Summer Series. I think we started Summer Series probably a bit sooner than that, but that was the first time it hits number 1 on Apple Chart.
Yeah, how good. Fiber CEO wasn't around then, Ben?
No, that's right.
And then the next one, charity is not we're not a stranger to charity. That was our first charity campaign on the show.
Yes.
That was Movember. Bryce hated every second of it. I
couldn't grow a moustache. That's the problem. Ben could, like in 2 days. I took 29.
So I put the handles on.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember why we shaved half of it.
For the photo.
It was for the photo. I'm sure it was for. Well, I think 11,000, 12,000.
Yeah, we did.
You can see that was it 11,500? 11,533.
So thank you to our beautiful community who contributed.
Yes.
To Movember.
And of course, our most recent one.
Incredible.
That was fun.
In Bali with the John Fawcett Foundation. The link is still up actually. I think it's called thepropertycouch.com.au donation. Now I feel...
we wouldn't be asking you.
You can still donate to the John Fawcett Foundation. But we raised, Bryce, remember the numbers by heart?
Just a touch over 75, yes.
Incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, no, it was... that's shaping part of the decision too, right? Because I feel like, I've made a contribution to property and I feel like there's an opportunity to now, if that's the end of the line, I want to be able to curate people who want to do stuff like that with me. So if I can help them with their business, they can make additional profits. And for when they have additional profits, clearly I want them to put it into property. And then once they've got that surplus wealth, they want to move into the 7th grade of financial contribution. And
love it.
Some people will want to come and do that with me, and you can see from these people. These people are forever in my heart. They answered a call. They're generous-hearted, amazing humans who I'm still connected with to this day. And so I want to do more of that. So.
And because you're amazing at helping businesses grow, so what's the best way they can reach out to you? Just on your socials or your website?
Yeah, just follow me on socials. I'll announce it there. But effectively, there's one of the things that you and I love talking about when we catch up, Ben, is business and what does that look like. And this podcast has never been a show about business, but it is one of the things that when we're not recording, when we're having lunch or we're in the water cooler, we're talking about business concepts and growth and how that works and how that makes a contribution. So I I have the bigger vision is, one of the reasons that my dad's news hit me so hard, and I'll probably cry again, but is for a lot of males, we're looking for acknowledgement. We have acknowledgement from our dads, and my dad was, as I said in my reflection at his funeral, my dad was 1939. He was from a different generation, and for a sensitive kid like me who didn't receive the words from him, I got lots of actions, and I got to reflect on that, and it was a beautiful thing. So what happens is when you don't get acknowledgement from your dad, and all of us as kids want to be acknowledged by our dad, and there's a certain role that our mothers do as well, which is equally as important. But for this relationship with my dad, I set off in 2002, and I left Perth on a journey to go, all right, well, I'm going to go and make my way in the world. And don't cry, Iris, that'll get me. So that at some point you can make a contribution, and then maybe that acknowledgement will come. And then you realise that that's not necessary, and it's not, but we get busy spinning our wheels. I'm not going to look at you anymore, Iris. I spin my wheels. And I think there's a place to restore that wound that I experienced and a lot of men experience. And I feel like if I can get way upstream and help with that, that means that has enormous flow-on effects to people, because then they, through their business, they have different goals that drive them. And if they have different goals that drive them and less baggage, it means that they can then hopefully add amazing environments for their teams that work with them. Ultimately, business is about a scorecard, so if it's not profitable, it's a hobby, so they've got to make more profit. Clearly, if they're making profit, I want them to put it into some form of wealth creation vehicle. And to Paul Clitheroe's point, who cares what it is, just put it somewhere. And then if you've got enough that covers your family, you might have, like these people here, there was one family that invested over $10,000 to be there. So you don't have, and for a lot of people it was 2,100, 4,200, whatever. So when you can collectively bring people together who all share the same vision, all share the same heart, and they go, hey, I've got $500, I've got 1,000, I've got 2,000. Someone who's doing a bit better goes, I've got 20,000. Like, you just bring all those people together. And what I loved about this the most is we actually got to go in one day and see them have a surgery. We got to go in the next day and see them be able to see. Like, for anyone who's ever remotely done anything where you're actually connected to the contribution that you're making, it changes you. So that's kind of what my change in calling is all about. Is I am still as passionate about helping property investors as I ever have been, but I think my own personal experience with the wound that I had with my own father and that impact of that event a couple of weeks ago. So that's kind of...
Well said, mate, and you'll make another amazing contribution to all of those people. So if you're interested in talking to Bryce and working with Bryce, reach out to us. On social. That's cool.
We'll have a chat.
Very good.
Oh, the box of goodies!
Oh, the box of goodies!
Yes.
It is going to be a long show.
So it is a long show. All right, so the first one, of course, has to start with this video.
3, 2, 1.
Just second, everyone. I didn't want to blow too hard.
Alright, come on, quick, open the present.
Oh, we got gifts.
Wait a minute, don't we have to cut the cake?
That's not gluten free. It's not gluten free. I'm sorry.
We don't love you that much.
All right, mate. You can do the honours.
Gluten free. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Let's just keep the reveal.
Ooh.
Wow, what have we got?
Oh, a little card.
Happy 5th birthday. Oh, so I'm not going to lie, the past 5 years hasn't been easy at all.
Good start.
I've got to figure out all the tech stuff from scratch. Yep,
True.
Cool. Production time went from 30 minutes to
Couple of hours. That's typical of us.
last minute bonus resources. Hashtag are you sure? Bryce's and arms. Yep, they're cool. I've tried to stop that. Ben, never come prepared with his sign-offs and did you knows.
True.
Yeah, fair enough. But I had the best time of my life, learned heaps and will not change a thing. Here's to the next 5 years. Stiggy, aka Virus. P.S. I said virus.
was
She does stick to you, though. Subliminal. No, I was.
Yes,
There you go,
the bobbleheads were born.
Bobbleheads were
Yes,
born.
thank you.
I was this is great time in the new studio to be back there.
Yes, Bryce. That's exactly right, mate.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
The next video, I think on the next slide.
Folks, got a very special Did You Know announcement for you. Hey there folks, Bryce Holdaway here, Ben Kingsley. We are the hosts of the Property Couch and we are going for take 3 on this wonderful... Hey there folks, Bryce Holdaway here with Ben Kingsley on take 3 of... It wouldn't be us if we weren't doing 3 takes.
Love technology.
And who's this? Bryce Holdaway here, Ben Kingsley. Ben, take 2 on take 2.
Love technology. Here we go. Hello, everyone. How was your day?
Oh, it was good.
Good. I'm just sort of warming up till everyone gets here.
Really? Everyone's here. Look, they're already there.
It's 18.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. All right, well,
How you going?
I've got no hope.
You got a notification.
I'll do.
Facebook Lives. We get lots of really great questions from our listener.
That's questions as well.
Questions. We're a family of 4 kids, 10 and 12. 4 kids, 10 and 12. And, we're a family of 4. There's a comma there. There's a crucial comma. Join our property tipping competition.
Yes.
Footy tipping even.
Footy tipping
So
competition.
property tipping. Property tipping. They just punch in the code, Ibis, of the property couch. No, put a note in the comment section
And we'll send you
go
a
to the
link to the free tickets.
propertycouch.com.au. It'll for this. You've joined us late. Just leave a comment here. Ibis will get you a link. Hi Ibis, need the link. Put it in the comments, and she will get that out to you, won't you, Ibis? But
I'll just give it to
Pass that
Iris. She'll
to
sort
Steve.
that out. Thank you very much.
absolutely, Ben. Very well said. So let's go and answer a few questions. All right. Well, there we go.
So a lot of people get told, make principal and interest repayments on their current family home, and that's what...
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
See, it's not my first appearance on a podcast. I have before.
true.
There you go.
Well, we had
First
your voice
willing.
before as well.
First
yes.
willing.
No.
First- you read the intro once, didn't you? Is that right?
That was in Margaret Loma's episode, I reckon.
Ah, it was.
This
All
was
right.
when last year.
Okay,
Open
mate.
it up.
Open it up
This
quickly.
time, open it right.
All right, go. Oh, wow, that went amazing. That was like
That's worked so well.
Gee, they exploded
It
out.
was supposed to explode. It did not explode.
No,
yeah.
they.
No.
Yeah,
Was that
okay.
same as last year?
There we go. Yes.
And this one, if you remember,
pictures.
one of our summer series guests gave it to us.
yes.
For me, particularly, got my name on it.
Yes.
David List.
David.
So it's to block out all the foodie benders.
All the footy banter. See, I wouldn't be wearing this, Bryce, because I love the footy banter. Love it. Absolutely love it. There's those butterflies taking off.
Remember the time when we have to print all of these cards?
Oh, me cards.
yeah.
His
From the
Ben's-
property investment
Yes.
game.
The game of property investing.
The
Yes.
game
Yes,
of property
That was
investing.
very, very.
I've got to show it, Lise. Here we go.
Show it to
Here
the
we go.
camera. Show it to the camera.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Read them out, Bryce.
Lifestyle parks. You had this amazing idea that you wanted to show
Practicality
the practicality
test. That was right. It was all part of the practicality test.
and the extraordinary lengths that you will go to teach on this podcast was incredible.
All right,
jokes
moving
aside.
on. We're finishing now. All the free reports we've done over the years. This is just
wow.
some of them, but we did hits. Go to the propertycouch.com.au
Look
and
at those.
download them.
You can get them now. You can still
get
download them as the freebie section on the Property Couch. FOMO, Bryce, what have we got? Property reports. Oh, Paul Clitheroe's summary. How to manage your money better and
Yep.
make it work when you're sleeping. Oh, family budgets. All available in downloads. Very nice.
And of course, my mic. We gotta go full circle. Our first
there it
microphone.
is.
Do you remember you were so happy when we changed the microphone that you took a selfie and had us post it on Instagram?
Yeah.
It's like finally moving away.
We invested.
Moving away from the Samsung was probably
Moving
the thing I
away
was
from the
most
Samsung.
excited about.
Yes.
Because it was a Samsung. Not because of the audio quality. It was just it
Yep.
was an Apple.
Yes.
That's,
All right.
that's a keepsake for sure. We're going to put
That's
that one
definitely
here
a
because that's
keepsake.
very important.
Now, at the end of our show today, so
Yes.
just wanna, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. But
It's only a break.
it's only a break. But I do want to say we've gone
Oh, here we
through.
go.
We prepared some cupcakes for you as well.
Oh, thank
For the
you.
last episode or the last, at least for this chapter
This
of
chapter.
the Property Couch podcast, and it is gluten free.
Oh,
Yeah, we got the gluten-free cakes.
Thank you.
Oh,
There we go, crew.
Oh, beautiful.
Have a look at that. You ready,
very
Ben?
nice. Ready?
Let's blow.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, how exciting. No one else will want to eat one because they're all gluten-free. So that means I get 12 of
Put
them.
them on my lap. Wait, there you go.
Now that's-
Life is sweet.
Life
there
is
we
sweet.
go. Very
Yes.
nice.
Thank you.
So
well done,
that's
team. Thank
our
you.
gift to
Good
you.
memory.
Thank
Whoever
you.
It was.
Now, you also have a gift to our community. You mentioned this last year, didn't you?
Yeah, well, thanks to you two for being so open to that. But we spent some time writing the book together, Ben. We've done 3 together, and then the last one has got the audio book. So we wanted to give that audio book to our community for free. It's available to purchase, but we wanted to give it away for free. So we thought the best way to do that is to do it on, and this is in consultation with the Stig, of course. Ben,
Yes, of
but,
course.
but we'll give it away on our podcast, so we're just going to upload it there so people can go and listen to it. And look, we feel really strongly that the Property Couch is the number one location for anyone to do 2 things. 1, to build a vision of what's possible, and 2, avoid danger.
Yep.
So it kind of makes sense that we want to still curate this community, and so if you want to listen to the podcast and listen to that audio book, Stiggy and the team will put that up so you can do that. And of course, we'd love for you to share it with as many people as you want. Like, it's free for everyone.
Yes.
And we'll put that up for a limited time.
Because we don't want people to get lazy.
Yes.
I was going to say cathartic then.
Cathartic, well.
Where was that? Where was I going with that?
Yeah.
So they can't be lazy. So it's only there for a short time.
A month.
A month. So you got to take action, because we're also
Beginning
a
of the year is
podcast
the
about
best
taking
time.
action.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take action.
So go and check that out on our catalogue here, wherever you're listening to your podcast.
And we're rolling it out 1 chapter at a time.
2 a week.
2 chapters a week.
A day.
A day.
Yes.
Bang.
2 chapters a day.
See how in sync we are right to the very end.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So by this time next weekish,
Yeah.
our community should have all the chapters on.
And
the
so you've
Property
literally
Couch
got 4 weeks to rip in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it's gone.
Yeah.
Then you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
If you want a copy of the physical book to accompany, some people do. You can always get a free copy at howtoretireon3k.com.au.
How to retire on 3k.com.
Love it. So
Yes.
there you go, folks. So thank you for allowing that to be linked to my last episode. But it sort of ties into everything that this podcast was. We gave away most of everything for free.
Yep.
Yes.
So that you can have the understanding. So
There is one more.
Oh.
The free property research on the mobile app.
Yes, we can also announce, Bryce, that on the mobile app now, you can get
mobile
our
app.
property report. So the More platform,
How good.
MOOR, download it through your Android or Apple iOS device. And so in the now research area, you can now start to access suburb reports, our property reports as well. So you don't need to go to your desktop. You can actually get them on the go. Get them on the go.
How cool. That's
So
so
that's
good.
cool.
Yeah, really good. So, go and check it out, folks. Go and download that. I'll give a little hack to some of the... Do you want me to give a last little life hack?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Maybe it might not work, but if they download it and then to their phone and then it disappears, they still have access to the episodes.
Oh.
Ooh, nice little... That's a good little tip.
I didn't know that. But
Oh,
okay.
let's hope
There
it
you go.
works.
Download now.
But do you know when you jump on a plane, you download an episode and it comes to your phone?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So,
mate, thank you for everything. But the book still says to be continued. So but thanks for the journey, mate. It's been-
what a wonderful ride, eh?
It has
It's been
been
incredible.
incredible.
So,
we'll keep everyone abreast in terms of what you're doing. So
Well,
as I said, we might see
thank
if
you.
you've got a couple of
Thank
things
you.
to announce or whatever.
Thank you.
Pop on
Yeah, thank
throughout
you.
the course, and then hopefully next year we'll get back into some type of routine if the world's aligned and what's happening.
Yeah, well, a couple of things. Thanks to I think it's really important that the three of us are on the couch at this point, because we've always said along the journey, Ben, that you and I at the front, but Ivis was. This is a trio, not a duo. So thank you. It's been a wonderful experience to do it with you two and our team of Stigs. But it's you and I. You brought this up. It's a bit like Hamish and Andy. They went off and did some other things, but they've always come back at certain times. So we'll see it kind of as that. But what a remarkable privilege it's been to be able to serve this community for 11 years now. So I feel very, very lucky about that.
Likewise, mate.
So folks, there you go. We're signing off for I'm signing off for a little while, but the community still has a lot to look forward to, because I know what these guys have planned for upcoming, and it's amazing. So you need to stick around for that. But Ben, until next time.
Until next time, Bryce. Knowledge is empowering, but only if you act on it.
There you go. See you next time, folks.